Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Season 7 of Stand Up and Stand Out. Párate y desdécate. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Nikki Green. As a life and business resiliency expert, I thought we would share some stories of resilience this season. It's also the 1-year anniversary of Chameleon Mindset, my best-selling book, and we are giving away a bunch of great prizes and deep discounts on my coaching programs to celebrate. Be sure to check the show notes of each episode to learn more and follow me on social media. I hope you're enjoying Season 7, and I look forward to hearing your feedback and comments on the fascinating topics we're going to cover with each guest. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to Season 7 of Stand Up and Stand Out. I'm your host, Nikki Green, and this is our wonderful guest for today's episode, Liz Springer. Hi, Liz. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you. Thanks, Nikki.
It's so wonderful to have you on, calling in from across the pond. So we're making this a very international episode this time around. Liz is a woman of many talents, and you may have heard me on her podcast. But now we're having her join us for Stand Up and Stand Out. And Liz, you've had a pretty amazing career and you've done a lot of things. Where should we begin today's origin story to tell us more about Liz?
Maybe a good place might be to start with, me being employed and then, going on my journey to run my own business. And maybe that's a good start, because there may be a lot of other people who, just like me, and job hopped a lot.
I think that's fantastic. I'm meeting more and more people like this, and I think it's encouraging just to showcase that your career can be whatever you make of it. And a lot of us start in a very common place and end up somewhere very different. So why don't you take us on the journey?
Well, I actually I used to be a secretary, PA, and I remember that I used to get bored. I used to get bored really easily, and so I would literally job hop. And I remember I would say to my partner, I'd say, look, I'm bored of this job. I'm going to leave. And he'd be like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I said, don't worry, I'll have another one by next week. And I would literally leave on the Friday and have a new job to start the following week. And I don't know, there was this confidence about the fact that whatever it is, I can learn it. And at the beginning, when you first start a role, they normally leave you alone for a couple of days. And during that time, I'm learning whatever it is. Whatever software package it is as well, I would just, get there in minutes. I'd be like, yes, yep, yeah, again, I've done this before, whatever. And then I'll just go and learn it. And then by the time it's got to like Wednesday, I'm completely up to scratch with whatever it is that I need to be doing.
Oh, that's fantastic. That growth mindset is so important. And I know it's something that a lot of young people today are struggling with, because we've taught them too much of, you go to school, here's the book, here's the test, and step by step what everybody's supposed to be doing. And then you get to work and it really isn't like that. When you get to work, it's just sort of like, hey, go do the thing when nobody really tells you all of the things. And you kind of make it up as you go along. And I think that's how a lot of people can be very successful. But I think it's also what makes you a great entrepreneur. So tell us a little bit about like what you do now and how you help people and other businesses.
Okay, so the main part of what I do is helping companies and helping small business owners to actually grow their business. And when I say that, it really is a lot about looking at, okay, where it is that they are now and where they want to be. And the thing is that sometimes, you are in a place where you feel like, you could be doing so much more, but because of the way of how you're set up, it's limiting. And so what I do is I really help them to get real results. And that's by clearing some things and getting things done. Because a lot of the time we're working on the wrong things. So it therefore means that, you're spending a lot of time probably on tasks that should be given to your VA or your admin. And the higher priority tasks are just not getting done because your time is elsewhere. And you can be busy and still not be getting anything done.
I think that's a common thread that I'm seeing so often with especially entrepreneurs is you have this area of genius that you want to be working on, but you're so overwhelmed with all the doing the business things that have to get done administratively every day, that you kind of lose that luster. And that's where a lot of people fall off, I think, as well, as why businesses don't succeed, because they're not focusing on the real value add activities that they should be doing. So I love that you help people with that. And I know you do it in lots of different ways, and you have great ways to help people scale and get refocused. I think some of that probably comes from your background of doing so many different jobs. Tell us a little bit about like what you learned in some of these different jobs. What were some of your favorites and what were some of your not so favorites?
I think as a PA, you're very much organizing your boss and all the other stuff that he doesn't get done. That's what you're doing. And so I think being able to come up with a system of how to get the most out of my day, and also then coming up with a system of how to get the most out of his or her day, was really important. And so it would just mean that, like I said, some of this clutter, and it could even just be, I had a boss whose desk was probably 10 files high and completely covered in paperwork. And she would send me to find something. And I'm thinking, how can I find something here? I mean, it's ridiculous. I'll never forget, she went on holiday and she said, whatever you do, do not touch my paperwork. I just thought, as soon as she's gone, I'm going to tidy this whole desk, because what is the point of you calling me from wherever you are and asking me to find something that you don't even know where it is yourself? And it's just a waste of time and my energy. So I tidied the entire desk and left 2 sheets of paper. And so I'll never forget that one of the main CEO came and said, "Oh my God, you tidied it?" I said, "Yeah." I have a complete system with colors that she can find whatever it is, and it's labeled. And so when she came back, she was horrified. And I just said to her, and she was right, "Where's this? Was that?" And you have this list. I have this list. And those are the 2 pieces of paper on the desk, and her agenda. And literally, she couldn't believe every single thing was labeled, easy to find. And so it meant that it was easy for her to get on with work. She would be saving time, saving her energy, not stressing me out and stressing out herself and anybody else that was needed when they needed something from her. So that was a great, and it just meant then she can now really focus on getting those higher priority tasks done.
I think that's so critical, because a lot of people can't get out of their own way, that they're so stuck in their methodology, or, as if like the chaos is somehow under their control. But I think that's a beautiful thing that a lot of assistants can help people with, is just setting better boundaries for them and getting them more structure. I know one of the favorite things I loved is that my assistant was much more likely to say no to appointments and limit how much I put on the calendar, and keeping those blocks of work time sacred, where a lot of us are be like, "Oh, okay, I can squeeze you in, and oh, I can do this a little bit more." So I love that you learned that during that job, and now you can help so many other people with it in their jobs as well.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is just saying no, because sometimes, you would be taking on all this stuff and it'd be like, actually, I think that's enough work for me, and being able to get this stuff done. And also in terms of, and I'm just working on a project and I've done this, it asked me to do this piece of work. I did the research and everything, 3 weeks. We had a meeting, it lasted 5 minutes and he left. He got up and he left. I was like, you've got to be joking. So I remember, and this was a bold step, and so it was a glass building, and I remember saying, okay, I rang his number, and so when he would get there, the guys would give him the phone. So I rang his number and the guys picked up, and I said, right, when my boss gets there, give him the phone. So going, why, what's happening? I've got some names, be careful. And I just said, look, you spent 5 minutes in this meeting and I've spent 3 weeks. Can you come back to this meeting? And this is my boss. And he came back, sat down, listened to my presentation, and it was exactly what he wanted. And so I think there is, so there is also that sort of being bold and standing your ground and stepping up sometimes, because sometimes, we can be not treated correctly or not listened to, where that's exactly what that thing is.
I think that's such a critical skill for so many of us, is that a lot of times we just kind of fold in, especially when it's the boss. You're like, okay, you must be right. And, let me just go ahead and concede. but that's not how you move up. That's not how you get recognized. And that's not how you feel rewarded for the work that you've been doing. And I know a lot of times as a manager, you're juggling so many things and you're always like future working on things instead of being present and in the moment. And I think we lose a lot of opportunities to really connect with other people and make sure that you're streamlining the next thing instead of just like, okay, 5 minutes and then let me move on. So I'm glad you raised your hand and said, no, 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 come on back. We're going to finish this up.
That was good. I actually did get promoted. Actually got promoted after that. So yeah, it's a good thing.
It definitely works. Well, I know we have a lot of other commonalities, but I know that you came from like a big family and active, living is a big part of who you are. So maybe share a little bit of, what you like to do in your spare time when you're not helping small businesses.
Well, actually, do you know what? I love to dance. That is one of my favorite things. And you always kind of hear me saying that, sometimes you're trying to work on something and, whatever you're doing, it might be a tech day, what I call the tech biz, and just have all these tech issues. And, it doesn't seem to get resolved. And so you're pushing and it's kind of like you're being pushed back. So one of the things I say is to just stop, put on some music, go and have a dance. And I always say, you might be in the office with other people, get them up too and get them a dance and then you'll be more productive. And then come back and do what it is. And I also love swimming, having fun, so instead of just going out to dinner, I'll get a group of friends and we'll go out and play mini golf and we might do bowling, karaoke. Because I think at the end of the day, you work hard, then also, go out and have fun too.
It reminds me of when I had my corporate job and I would start all of my staff meetings with dancing, just to break up the monotony. There's plenty of serious topics we can talk about, but, most everyone was either working from home already or, just running from meeting to meeting in different conference rooms. And so just taking that break to just be a little bit silly, get a little bit of movement and, and reset your mind and your body to get ready to, okay, now we can go dig into, the next big project that needs to happen. So I think we need to keep starting each podcast now with dancing.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I've just done that just before I've come on. So
so perfect. Yeah. Well, I just have to get licensing for the music and we're all set. I love that. I love that. So tell us a little bit about kind of what you have coming for this year and beyond. Like what are the big projects that you're working on or things that you're excited about and goals for the future?
This year, I'm literally working on, I have a web TV and this is year 2. And it was a idea that I'd had sort of 11 years ago. And it was something where I was in pre-launch for 2 years and people just didn't get it. But I knew it was going to be something big. And as my background is like, it's your remit to come up with futuristic ideas. And so I knew that it would come into fruition at some point, and I knew that people would get it at some point. And so that has been a huge success. People have actually liked what we do, because sometimes you might do something, it might be your idea and you've set it all up, but nobody wants it or likes it. So that's been nice. And we've just kind of been rolling it out in phases. And we're going to be doing a lot more shows this year, bringing on other people as well. So I'm kind of really excited. That's my baby. And it's a platform that I built. So I'm really excited about that. And then in terms of my business moving forward this year, we're going to be doing a lot more training, because I think that what happens is, and it's something that I've been doing alongside. So you might coach someone, but let's say, for example, you've got a company, they might be a small company and they're looking to get in with the larger corporates. There's some elements of training there that need to be done. So, and how this training is delivered is in many forms. So it could be literally within a solid roll up your sleeves, work in progress, where we literally work on that particular topic. And it's also in things like running summits as well, where we literally can have topic experts and speakers who are very knowledgeable in those fields and can actually be able to bring together some strategies and how-tos. Because I think it's great to have they get all this stuff and people buy a lot of things, but it's like, let's do the next part. Let's actually do some implementation and take it forward. These would be some of the steps, because I find that now, even for myself, I've stopped buying lots of things because you don't get to, fully get use of that because sometimes there may not be any sort of further training with it. And I think it's nice to be able, it's great. Yes, you have this session, but let's now do the next part. Let's actually do this. Let's take it a step forward and you actually work on it and you actually get it done. And I'm very much about, let's get it done. So we're doing a good amount of workshops and trainings on that next step, which is let's get it done. Because it's like, yeah, you might have talked about it, you've read it, you did it, whatever, but let's actually put it in place.
I think it's so needed because I'm hearing that from a lot of people. I think over the last few years, kind of since the pandemic and people had more, kind of downtime to do things, a lot of people became what my trainer calls course junkies, where they just want to take course after course after course, but they never actually do much of really on the implementation side. They're always trying to find the next thing and they're always having that FOMO, that fear of missing out on the course. But I love that you're taking this to the next level, which is really critical for most people, which is let's actually implement the stuff that we've learned and get it taking, our business to the next level. And really, before you jump into the next course and the next training, let's get it done and really make sure that this is the thing you needed before you know what else to buy. Because I think people were just kind of over consuming, but underproducing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well that what happened is that, even though I myself had been in some groups where it's like, there's just the next course and the next course. And so you just get so busy in doing the courses, you don't actually get to implement. And so I remember I did this thing where I decided to just take the same time that I'd be in this course and actually implement. And I actually got the stuff done. I just thought, well, there's a way. There's a way of how to do that. And it was actually, it was very quick to do that, but I cleared the space and the time to be able to do that and I think that is the problem because sometimes I think, with some courses are just giving so much and there's so much stuff in there. Oh, hey, this is 75 training modules that, and I mean, where's the time to do all that? So even if you did one a day, that's 75 days. You probably wouldn't get one a day done, but, because you're still running your business. You've still got other things to do and also got a personal life outside of that as well. And who wants to be continually working for some crazy hours, at night and then just be tired and not as productive as you really could be and even having fun.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nikki Green, and I am a life and business resiliency expert. I have been helping people for over 2 decades overcome their challenges and achieve their life and business goals. I wrote Chameleon Mindset for others seeking clarity while acclimating to new situations. This entertaining yet research-based guide to transitions will open your mind to unique strategies for finding purpose and achieving your goals. Through my new book, you will create the happy life you desire with 5 philosophies for change, beginning with C for creative adaptability. Move from resistance to resilience by assessing and adjusting your risk tolerance. The practical lessons in Chameleon Mindset will help you shift your mindset, sharpen your skill set, and overcome the things holding you back from dealing with change. We'll have the new online course coming soon. There are half a dozen modules in total, but the way you choose to pursue your destiny, it's up to you. Each module can be done independently or repeated as necessary to tackle new obstacles and new goals in your life. And you can earn extra Chameleon coins for uncovering them. What are Chameleon coins, you might ask? These are reward XP that you can earn to purchase additional Chameleon Mindset benefits as you progress through the course. You can get swag, group coaching, one-on-one coaching, exclusive event tickets, and networking opportunities. And if you collect enough coins, you can even earn a full-day VIP intensive with me to work solely on your goals. And by joining the Chameleon crew, you will also gain access to my network of thousands of influential people around the world with expertise to help you on your business, your personal endeavors, health and fitness, and so much more. Reserve a copy today and click below to be added to our subscriber list. Yeah, I think it's important that we start to ask different questions, even when we do enroll in these courses, and start to ask people about what's your completion percentage? Like, how many people are actually completing the course and doing the work? Because if we're paying all this money for these courses, but most people don't finish it because it's too long or too boring or doesn't really provide the value that they're saying, I think we need to reevaluate it. And when I created my course off of my Chameleon Mindset book, that was one thing I really took to heart, because I made sure all the lessons were almost TikTok size, like less than 5 minutes, that you're just in and out, and that you go and do the exercise and then come back. And that there's gamification, so you get points and rewards as you finish the modules to, again, keep enticing you to come back. And those points get you then coaching and go to events and different things. So I think it's rethinking some of that too, and making sure that there's a component of actually doing the work, not just buying the course and feeling proud about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, and I agree with you, because I think that, so I've got a Let's Get It Done workshop, and that's literally what we're doing. And I literally say, if you think that you're going to come and sit down with a cup of tea or a glass of water and just listen to me talk, then this is not for you. We're actually going to be doing some work. And so, and I also believe, because I always say, look, I ask people, are you a sheep or are you a shepherd? No, I'm a shepherd. I'm not just going to follow and go with the flow. Because I think what happens is that sometimes some things that have been around for maybe a long time don't work anymore. And not only that, sometimes I'm very much about, can I do something better, faster, easier? And so in the end, when I actually then went to create my course, I did it in such a short time. It was like, I gave myself a month and I'd done it in less than 3 weeks. And I just think, I've been on stuff where it's like, hey, this is how you create your course. And it's taken years. And I know there's a lot of us who still actually haven't done it yet. And it's crazy. And so I've come back with a new way of how to create your course. And who said that everything has to be 1-2 hours long? No. Because if I can get that information in a much shorter time, doesn't that mean that A, I'm going to be able to take it in, and B, I'm going to be able to finish faster and get the things done as well? And so mine are much shorter. And I remember somebody said, shouldn't that be X amount of time? No, I do not have time. I'm busy as a business owner. So what about the other business owners? Of course they're busy. If I can listen to something which is 20 minutes instead of 1 hour, 2 hours, of course I will. And if it's got the nuggets in, that's great. And that's the thing. You can actually put those nuggets in there so that you can hear it in a short time, and listen and watch in a short time. And I just sometimes think, like, and I wouldn't say I'm a disruptor, but I think if there's a better way, why not do that? And who said that you can't change it?
It comes from so many, beliefs of how things should be done because of the way we went to school. And when you go to, secondary school and university and all these things, it's like, oh, you have these big, long lectures and you go on and on and on. And the professor just stands up there and prophesies it, right? And then you go home and go do all the work. And it's like, is that really the best way for us to learn? Probably not, especially not in today's, society where we're so technology driven and everything's so quick. So I love that you're disrupting the space, and that you're going to teach people in a much faster way and actually get them to do the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I literally say, so that's sort of one of the warnings, if you like, that we're actually going to be doing some work. So while we're here, I'm going to be asking you questions and you're going to be doing it on the spot. So, and I just think, like, at the end of the day, isn't that what you are here for? You are here to get something done, something you've been trying to get done for a while. And so let's do it.
Perfect segue. And it's time for us to sign off now. But I know folks are going to be really excited to learn more about what you do, Liz. So maybe let folks know where they can meet you and how they can look for some more help to actually get some things done.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, you can go to mystrategiesforgrowth.com. I also have an app there as well. So, and there's like 3 nuggets there. It's called innovatorsinfluence.com, and you don't need to go around searching for it. You just go there and you download it straight onto your phone. And there's just a whole bunch of free tips there that help you. And it's not just learning, it's also sometimes about mindset stuff. And some of this stuff is just in our head. And it's great to hear that these are things that are going on for other people. And you can also get hold of me on LinkedIn.
Oh, lovely. And so if any of you guys are in our chameleon community and you guys are connected with me on LinkedIn, you'll be able to connect with Liz as well. Lovely having you on the show and getting to learn a little bit more about you. I love spending time with you. I know we have a lot in common, and we're going to continue to support each other's journey and see where this year takes us.
Thank you so much, Nikki. I've loved being on the show today.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all the things on each of the platforms so that you can follow along for the next episode. It's been great seeing you guys today, and we'll catch you where all the cool kids hang out that do podcasts. Bye, everyone. This is Nikki Green, signing off.